Welcome to e-Semplice Hub, where we try to solve music theory problems. Now, here we are just going to have a chat on some tips you need to succeed in whatever grade of music theory exam you want to enter for. And I'm starting from what is general to grades 1 to 5. The first thing you need here is your ability to sketch correctly. Key signatures table for your grade. Now, in these exams, each grade has a set of key signatures that you are supposed to cover. And virtually all the questions in your exam will revolve around those key signatures. So your ability to be able to sketch the table correctly is a great tip for success, because if you see a question, assuming the question is on E minor, you should go to that table. In fact, it should even be the first thing you sketch in the exam hall before you start answering any question. So when you run into a question, say E minor, a question on E minor, you have to go to the table that you have sketched and look at the content of the key so that you don't make a mistake. For students writing grades 3 to 5, there are usually issues, but if you have it sketched correctly, that means you should have practiced it before the exams. If you have it sketched correctly, once you run into a question, assuming the question says A flat major, just go there and check the content of the key. And we have also had issues where students confused sharpened keys with flattened keys. But if you have this table sketched out correctly, you can never have such issue. Once you hear the name of a key, go to the table and verify, is it a sharpened key? Is it a flattened key? And the content, that is in terms of key signature accidentals, and you can never make a mistake. Now, I want to talk about grades. Let's look at grades 1 to 2. Now, here, do not attempt to answer any question relating to tones or semitones without first sketching the keyboard. So always, because you can never avoid questions relating to tones and semitones in this grade, always sketch and use the keyboard. When that's it, to solve tones and semitones questions. And at this point, I'll show you the easiest way to sketch the keyboard is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Then you put the black keys. With this keyboard, you will be able to tell which note is higher, which note is lower. And remember, the pitches increase this way. So don't attempt to answer any question. If you are presented with 2 pairs of notes or 3 pairs of notes and you are asked to maybe circle the lower note or the higher note, please sketch the keyboard so you'll be able to see it clearly. For an example, F sharp is higher than F and G is lower than A. So please, now I move to grades Move to grades. Let's look at grades 1 to 4. Please note, know the positions of slurs in your scales, because you are likely to be asked to write scales and show the position of the semitones with slurs. Grades 1 to 4, you can never escape these in your exam. And let me just have a little recap on that note. For grade 1, you will be asked to slur major scales. But from grades 2 to 4, you'll not only be asked to slur major scales, you will also be asked to slur minor scales. So I'll just have a little recap here. For major scales, the positions are degrees 3/4, then degrees 7 and 8. That is when you write your major scale. The slurs are between the third and the fourth note of your scale, going up, then 7th and 8th notes in ascending scale. But when you are asked to write a descending major scale, it means you turn it around. So you are going to have 8/7, then 4/3. Now, I now move to minor. From grades 2 to 4, you'll be working with minor scales. For harmonic minor, the slurs are at 2/3, 5/6, 7/8 in ascending scale. But when you are writing a descending harmonic minor scale, you know the other tones, you now go 8/7, 6/5, and 3/2. Still for grades 1 to 4, we've talked about the harmonic minor, ascending and descending. You slur them the same. So now let's talk about the melodic minor. Now, the melodic minor scale has 2 forms. That's the ascending scale is not slurred same way as the descending scale. They are slurred differently. And what are the positions we are looking at? If you are writing an ascending melodic scale, your slurs will be at degrees 2/3, then degrees 7/8. But when you are writing a melodic scale and it is descending, the slurs will be at degrees 6/5, then degrees 3/2. So you see, it is different. Now, I still want to talk about something else. We are still talking about grades 1 to 4. Now, another thing I want to talk about, another success tip is this. If you are writing grades 1 to 4, that's any of the grades between 1 to 4. If in your country you are still doing paper-based exams, then this tip will be very, very good for you. Please always start from the last question. If you check past question papers, you will notice that the last question usually carries a higher mark. Other questions can be 10, 15 at most, but the last question, which is more or less an analysis question where you'll be given an extract of music and several questions will be asked on it. You see, that question usually takes from 20 to 30 marks. So it is better you start from that question when your brain cells are yet to be startled. You'll be able to figure it out. So if you can make up to 25, 28, assuming it is 30 marks from that question, then you know distinction is sure. So usually, please endeavor to start from that last question, as it carries more mark. When you are done with that question, you can now go to other questions. For grades 3 to 5, always sketch intervals table. Now for grade 3, your intervals question will just be on simple intervals. But for grades 5, you need to look at simple and compound intervals. So practice writing that table. That's intervals table. Practice writing it correctly. Intervals table. And you know what that table contains? That table will show you the number of semitones, the number of the interval, the number of semitones contained, and the quality of the interval, whether it is a major interval, a minor interval, a diminished interval, or an augmented interval. So you need to practice writing that table. It is key in your grade. So on this note, we come to the end of exams success tips. For any grade you will enter for, I wish you the very best.